Good afternoon, VV Nation. Happy Friday. The week is almost over and the weekend is almost upon us. Sorry, we're a few minutes late here. As you can tell, we're not using the mobile app today. Apparently, there's a Wi-Fi issue here, looks like, at the office, so I wasn't able to connect. But either way, we're going to give you some great analysis on the market and on some stocks. So that being said, first thing, just make sure that you can hear me, you can see me, put a VV in the comment section appropriately. All right, we got Pennywise here. Matthew, hey, Carol, how are we doing? Yes, go Team Android. I'm Android. Rod says no sound. Is anyone else having a sound issue? See and hear. Rod, maybe adjust your audio within YouTube, if not on the computer itself, but it might be within the YouTube. But it looks like everyone can hear, everyone can see. All right, what are we going to talk about first? Let's throw it off a little bit just because you don't normally use the mobile app. But something interesting I'm seeing here. You look at the Dow Jones, up 74 points today. You see the other major indices down? Who noticed UNH? Anyone see the news on UNH today? Last time I looked, it was up over 30%. Looks like Berkshire Hathaway and Warren Buffett revealed a $1.8 billion position in United Healthcare. The stock is soaring today. Jazz said he bought it yesterday. Okay. If Buffett's in it, hey, it's hard to bet against it, right? I can see the value play there. I can see why he's attracted, but just be careful. A lot of news and a lot of, healthcare stocks in general right now. Having a pretty hard time. Dow Jones was in record territory earlier today, the first time since December 2024. I could see that, especially with UNH, big pop there. Actually, let's take a look at UNH real quick. See, I was looking at a couple different stocks here. UNH. There it is. You could see, but look, you're not even getting much value. The value has completely collapsed there. The stock's actually overvalued now by our metrics. I get the suppression of the stock here itself. Where are we at here? It's above the 20-day EMA. It's above the 40-day EMA. It's a hard position, but one thing I will say, look at RT relative timing. Just became favorable on this position as of today. You see RT relative timing went below 1, and the stock was back at $454, letting you know the bears were taking control. But now RT relative timing on a comeback here and actually now in favorable territory above 1, sitting at 1.25. That's giving some optimism for the bulls today. All right, let's see here. Let's go back. But yeah, falling earnings, falling growth rate earnings, falling value. I get it from a technical standpoint. But yeah, Green Dean, that neg is collapsing nicely. Yes, remember I told you in my employee contest portfolio, I opened up a short on that position on neg yesterday. There it is. I'm up almost 30% on that short. You can see the short here, new egg up 232. I'm trying to keep up. Man, we got Alex over there. He's rocking it in this competition. He's up over 300%. I think it's like 324%. I'm just trying to keep up with him, trying to beat him. So I thought this would be I just saw neg was, definitely overextended. And with the 117 short position, I'm sitting there pretty nicely, especially with today's pullback. We'll see how that will come to fruition overall. All right, let's go back to the homepage here. As far as the homepage, the top industry right now, look at this, retail department stores, and showing a lot of momentum today to the upside, 1.67%, greatly outpacing the other top RT industries. So I think it's worthy to take a look here. Let's view stocks and industry group. And tonight's video is on defense stocks. I break down the sector chart. And I show you some other interesting defense stock picks. Some of them are definitely worthy of an opportunity, hopefully in the future. But all right, let's see here. We got Coles, Dillard's, pretty flat there. This is the top 6 here. There's only 6 found, actually. I see up 2%. We got Dillard's. Let's graph these. Bill says, unfortunately, we gave up on shop near the low. Oh, man. It's old Spotify. All right, here's Coles. Look at this jump in Coles. Gave it all away. Overall, I mean, we're still a ways from the highs before, around $20, $22. I see the momentum there. Overextended from the 20-day EMA. I'm not going to get into it right now, especially with this bearish candlestick. Growth rate, sales growth rate, negative. Falling earnings. No, I can't get behind it. I can't get behind it. And I'm not even a big Kohl's person, to be honest. Here we've got Dillard's department store. You can see it just hit a new high as of yesterday. Some profit taking there. Big upper wick. But again, look, negative growth rate, negative sales growth rate, falling earnings. That is a big drop there. A lot of volatility. Now, I do like Academy Sports. It's a little overvalued right now. We value it at $42. Value is ticking up. Nice retest on this 40-day moving average. But overall, it is trending up. Buy ratings are in place. RT in favorable territory. Macy's, negative. Falling earnings. No, I can't get behind Macy's. Here's Caring. I don't like the gappiness. Nope. All right, let's get out of this one. Are you watching gold stocks now? Actually, I'm curious. What is gold doing? Let's take a look at, let's do the industry. Actually, before we do that, let's look at healthcare marijuana. Healthcare marijuana, you see the momentum to the upside here, starting to pull back a little bit. I have a feeling marijuana stocks will take a breather if you're up and positioned. Maybe take some profits. I have a feeling there's going to be a breather here before the next update, on any kind of legislation change. If you are going to play it, I'd buy on the breather, and then, hopefully the news will come. All right, let's see here. Mining, gold, metal. Oh, let's take a look at uranium as well. It's been a while. Here's gold. Gold looks nice. I mean, I like this level of support here. Nice bottom wick, little body on it. This is what I was talking about. This retest on the trend line. This was the opportunity again. We were talking about this, was about 2-3 weeks ago here. See a nice pivot. Did not much of a pullback, more of just a little bit of a breather here. Still above the 20-day EMA. 20 days now above the 40. Value on the rise. Look at the forecasted data, 9, 13%. I like gold. I like gold. I think, having a little bit of gold, especially if interest rate cuts, I think gold and ether, if I'm going to have asset classes right now, I like, and maybe a little silver in there. I'm not going to, put anything bad on silver. I bought UNH when it fell big. Options sold today. Big win. Nice. There you go. Yeah, if you held options, it's up 33% today. I'm pretty sure those options are sitting pretty. I'd take that money and run too, just because of the volatility. I know you got a couple extra bucks there on the volatility alone, let alone the move in the stock. I need another stock that is basing and can make a move like A-Lab did. Is that too much? Is that asking for too much? Let's see here. What are you talking about, A-Lab? Let's see what A-Lab did. Oh, you talking about this base here? This channel? Is that what you're talking about, John? Yeah. Yeah, 2006, that was good. I'm not sure what option you bought, but as long as it was a call, I'm sure it worked out well. Yes, that A-Lab channel. All right, John, you want to look for some channels here? Let's look for some channels. Let's get some fish going. I'll show you guys how to use Unisearch here. All right, let's go to new search. All right, we're in Unisearch. This is where we can find stocks that are displaying characteristics or have characteristics that we're looking for, right? And John talking about a channel, an A-Lab, right? A channel breakout. That's always, a good thing to look for. I liked your growth stock video. Ryan, grateful for that. Yes, some of those stock picks are there. I like just resorting. You know what, whether it's industry sectors or the whole list of stocks by different indicators. And sometimes you'll get some fish. I don't say these are the best 5 growth stocks. I mean, they're the highest growth in earnings, obviously. But some of the stocks presenting some interesting opportunities. In tonight's video, there's a couple as well. I did growth stocks in a different space. I did defense stocks for tonight's presentation. And there were 2 of them that just need a little bit more confirmation but look like good trades. The other 3, look like they could be good in the future, but just not right now. But the forecasted data was phenomenal. So hopefully we'll get some. You guys will like the fish tonight. Thanks for that. I think there is new Palantir in that growth stock list. Oh, yes. All right, let's do date of time. Stocks. Do price split adjusted. Has to be price split adjusted for this. And then we go to Pro Trader. Now, you're not going to see Pro Trader unless you have real-time subscription or have the Pro Trader add-on. And when you see Pro Trader, essentially just lets you utilize technical analysis when it comes to unit search. So you see the button here, it says channel, boom. And then we can define your channel. We'll say 30 days. Max height of channel. 10% channel seems about right, about average. Find stocks that are breaking out of the channel. We want break above the channel, minimum percent above or below the channel. Let's do like 3%. So that way we're getting early breaks, right? Early break. Guys, keep an eye on GUR. Hey, Ollie G, 2006, you're on to something. That GUR, I like that. I like that stock a lot, though. But again, just not always the best time to be buying certain stocks, right? We know that. But thank you for that feedback, though. GUR was a good one. I did like GUR. But here, we defined our channel. So we're going to get a channel here for about 30 days, about 10% movement within that channel. And this is just an example. You can obviously, change this however you want it. We're going to do breaking above the channel. And we want about 3% above that channel break, for some confirmation here, right? So hit OK. Hit run search. No stocks found. Go figure, right? All right, so let's try this. So at least 10 days. Well, let's do 20 days. 15%. All right, so here's some stocks coming in the list here. Ooh, look, we got Chewy. Urban One. So you can add to this too, right? So say I go to time of search here. We want, just an example here. Just say capital appreciation. Say we want, an RT above 1, right? So we have, there we go. We got the favor of the bulls in this breakout, right, of this channel. And then another thing we can do here, we can filter it. We can do watch list equal to. And then you can do your own watch list. We've got S&P on here. Let's do S&P. And do special watch list. Maybe do like the NASDAQ. So now we're aiming for the big companies. What is that, Ryan? Which industry? What are you talking about? Keep an eye on MO because it owns a large chunk of Cron, a cannabis company. Interesting. Can you talk about later about PSX? We can probably do PSX. All right, but so now I want to hit run search. So now these are stocks that were in a channel for about 20 days. You see here, 15% of that channel. RT's got to be above 1, and it's got to be in the S&P or NASDAQ, essentially, right? So Chewy was the only one. We got rid of a lot of those stocks. This brought up Chewy, right? So let's right-click on Chewy. Go to View Stock Graph. See if there's an opportunity here. And imagine that 15% channel. It's not as pretty, but that's probably talking about the 15% time channel right there. But you can see that break up. Look, price action just broke above the 20-day EMA. A little bit of indecision here, but we got follow through to come today. Chewy, this actually might be setting up to be a good run here if we see on Chewy. Keep that on your radar. But if we get rid of this top line or this bottom line, hit run search. Ryan, you can also do a 10-day RT delta to be positive, so you don't have an RT going above and below 1. That's all. No, that's a good point. But so here's some other stocks. Let's see if there's any ones in these presenting opportunities. Oh, Spotify. Y'all talk about Spotify. Look at it. It came up first in the list here. Oh, graph on. So it was range bound. You can see the range here. Breaking above that range as of today. Overvalued. RT, look, RT just going in favorable territory here. Maybe an early entry. We got on Spotify. Here's Lyft. Look at that. Big momentum today. Above the 20 and the 40 here. Value looks like it's ticking up a little bit. We just got a buy rating. RT just in favorable territory. Another good position. Here's EuroCs. Hey, it looks at this gem. I haven't seen anyone talk about this stock. Look at that. Lower left, upper right was around $40. Now it's around 60, up 50% in the last 3 months here. And look at the value, just steady. Look, that's a perfect stair-step fashion and value. Earnings per share on the rise. Growth rate on the rise. The only thing here, sales growth rate dropped to negative 3%. It was around 20, so something happened in sales growth rate forecast, but that did drop. But there's some fish here. This one, no volume. Here is Chewy. Again, we talked about Chewy just a moment ago. Let's go 6 months. That looks nice. You see the last time the 20-day started converging to the 40-day, and we got price action above it. A nice run afterwards. Looks like we're setting that up again. Here's Dow. Oh, look, hey, you guys talking about a channel breakout. Look at this channel here. Nice, really tight range-bound consolidation here from about, what, $8.80 to about $8.16. Just got the breakout. We got a little bit of an upper wick forming right now. Look at the intraday chart. Trade the chart. Don't chase your dreams here. But we just got a breakout on this. Could continue momentum here. Here is ACRS. Again, look at this. Lower left, upper right. Very nice. Full body today. 20-day EMA creeping up. I like this one. $1.85. Cheap drug stock here. And this one I can't get behind. Not only the candlesticks, a little odd. Well, it's a penny stock. But look at price action and value. Both on the decline. Forecasted data is not good. If you could get a close, if I can get a close well above this, probably right here, I might get a little enthused because the resistance is going to come in right here. You can see clear resistance around $1. It's only 5 cents away. I'd give up the 5 cents. But yeah, I don't really like that one. No, I want to see that value tick up. This could be a good momentum play for the short term. But, I'm not liking the forecasted data. Not liking the value declining. Here's another one. Values declining. Range bound. Interesting. Can we see what's happening at cyber stocks like Crowd and Fortnite? Yeah, so there's ALAB. Let's see here. What was PSIX? I do want to see FTNT. I'm curious what this. Oh, EuroCs. Gotcha. Yeah, EuroCs look good. All right. Here's Power Solutions. Look at this. Retest on the 40-day here. Just be careful, because if we get a break, it can continue to go down, right? But you see in uptrends, nice entry points. But you got to stay disciplined if you plan on buying this dip. Because if we break that 40-day, it could continue to go down clearly. But I do like the valuation. Look at that valuation, just jumped up. I mean, stock was 120 bucks not long ago. Now it's at $83. I like it on this 40-day. I'm seeing buying pressure there too. If you're in it, if it drops much below that 40-day, be careful. But I do like that as an entry right now. Here's the earnings per share on the rise, sales, growth rate, 33%, 74%. I like the stock in general. And if I use a horizontal line, let's see here, this pivot. Look, it's right there at that 40-day. That is nice. I like it. Hey, if you want confirmation, maybe get price action above the 20-day EMA. But otherwise, if you're disciplined and you can stick to a stop, that might be a good entry right there, shaping up. The only thing I'm concerned right now is more so is the market. NVIDIA is our second largest holding after cash. Well, it's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea. All right, here's CrowdStrike. I mean, CrowdStrike is giving me nothing but warning signs. Broke the 20-day EMA, broke the 40, retested both of them, rejection, retest, rejection, and now we're just in a downtrend. If you're looking for some support on this downtrend, probably somewhere in here, if I had to guess. Probably a little bit more downward room. I think closer to 400 bucks. Here is Fortinet. Look at this. With the sell-off, we finally got a value play when it comes to Fortinet here. It's been overvalued this whole time. See? Sold off and now become valued. Or fairly valued, right? If you bought the dip, just be careful. 70 bucks wouldn't be the worst stop. But I don't, I can't be mad at that. I'm still holding Crowd. Still up 53%. Nice, Pennywise. Yeah, Crowd, I see a little bit more downside action, but we'll see what happens there. Fortinet, I can see some buying opportunities here. I mean, if you holding on to it right now, you got to cut your losses off somewhere, right? But if it keeps trending up, hey, get some of that money back. Ryan, I set up a search for stocks just crossing RT above 1, which I have been using. DAL, which you just showed, also came up. Oh, interesting. Hey, that RT crossover from below 1 to above 1, for the bulls at least, works out pretty well. Now here's that EuroC stock that we just came across of not too long ago. This looks great. Value on the rise, price action on the rise, forecasted out. Just the sales growth rate, it looks a little iffy. Other than that, not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. All right, let's get down with some stock picks. Let's see here. I don't think I have a mobile one set up. We'll just do this one. Yeah, mobile picks. We got an NVIDIA in 2017. Look at this. An average cost of $5.38. Whoo. Whoo. Let's see here. Oh, maximize this. I'm just curious about something. Oh, kick me out of the graph. Well, I guess it does not want to hold that much data at once. All right, let's go to your picks here. Go ahead and start typing them in. I want to do 20 stocks today. It's Friday. Let's try to knock out some stocks this afternoon. We've got Power Hour after this. So if you miss any stocks, if I don't get to any stocks, we'll do more in Power Hour. And then we've got the Daily Color Guard report this afternoon, which should be excited. All right, we got BLSH. ITRG, VEEV, CRS, BLX, RDDT. Oh, wait. That was one of the growth stocks as well. Reddit. We don't have my. We don't have MI. MY. You mean MP? Reddit's got one of the highest growth ratings or GRT ratings in the database. We don't have my, David. Oh, MU Micron. Okay. Okay, I got you. I do like Micron. All right, 3 more stocks here. 3 more stocks. Bashir, I just put in hood. Just put in hood. Autocorrect. Oh, yeah. that makes sense if you're on your phone. Let's see. All right, we got a couple more here. FEIM. I like seeing stocks I'm not familiar with. IONQ. And then USAR will be the last one. And you got an extra one here. Turkey Monster. Trying to be greedy with 2 stocks. I don't blame you, Turkey Monster. I don't blame you. All right, we got 22 stocks. Let's get through these. We'll see how much time we got left. But again, we got Power Hour right after this. It is on YouTube this Friday, right, Clay? It's on YouTube today, isn't it? Yeah, it's on YouTube today. So at 2 o'clock, again, we'll have an hour to break down all of your stock picks here. But we got 22 right now. Reddit was one of the stocks that came in my growth thing. This has got one of the highest growth rate and earnings in the database here, 53%. Look at that. It's the highest one in this list. I just did a video on these stocks before. There's 5 of them. They all had growth rates that were crazy. Ryan, not to say told you so, but look at Tilray. Bill, you must have not seen my video Tuesday. Did Tilray fall apart? Did it go up in smoke? What is it doing? 107? Yeah, not too surprised. It was up about 20-25% after the video. Now it's back down to 108. Again, be careful on it. I would say, again, let the dust settle. And the play is to see how low you can get in some of these marijuana stocks and hope that Trump does make the news announcements in a couple weeks, month or two, whatever it may be, and the stocks jump again, you make money, right? That's the play, right? That's the play. If you did it from the video, if you did it this week, again, I said it in the video, short-lived profits. I showed you the industry, which has just been going down and down and down. Well, there's a little pop, then down, a little pop, then down. So that's literally what I said in the video. Okay, your cannabis picks are MO. We'll take a look at MO. Let's see here. It's in the list, right? I think we added it. Yeah, it's in the list here. All right, let's graph these. Let's break them down. Actually, that one's the highest. Let's see what the highest sales growth rate is. Where's sales growth rate? It's way over here now. And what if Trump changes his mind as he always does? Well, that's, you know what they say, bill up in smoke. That's how that stock's gonna go if he says no. But, you know, is that what volatility means? Yeah, that's what volatility means, Troy. I mean, I made as clear as day that those are be very speculative stocks. You know, use something like Star Search, use something like a 3 and 8 day. You know, something to help capture profits. And if you're an emotional trader and have a history of holding bags, then, you know, healthcare marijuana stocks are not for you. Let's be honest about something. I don't want you holding marijuana stocks 2 years from now just because I put out a video on Tuesday about Tilroy. You know, again, just be careful with those marijuana stocks. But that would be the play, is see if you get some of these stocks, you know, a little bit on the, obviously they're pulling back. Let's take a look here, see what we got. Let's graph them. I'm curious. You guys gave me some interesting stocks today. Here's Uranium Energy Mining Company. Looks like this one's rocking and rolling. Use Star Search, but look at this growth rate and earnings, 30%. Sales growth rate maxed out at 999. This stock looks good. Nice bottom wick, nice body on the candlestick, trading at session highs. Strong buy ratings across the board right now. This looks good, and we all know about uranium and, you know, the small module reactors and, you know, the hype from the AI data centers. So it's clearly gaining some momentum here. I like it. RT, relative timing, also staying strong above territory. Just be careful though, if you're thinking more of an investment, just because the earnings per share is dropping. But from a trade perspective, the momentum's still there. Here we've got NBIS. NBIS trying to stay above. We got a bullish engulfing candlestick. See if we get confirmation on that tomorrow. But again, a little overextended. I'm not going to be a buyer of it as of right now. If I am a buyer, I'd put a stop probably right at or near today's low, because that's going to be near yesterday's low as well. Looks like it might be a level support there, at least in the short term. Forecasted data, mixed bag here. Negative on the earnings side. Sales growth rate, look at a couple 100%. But look at earnings per share on the decline and negative. It's a hype AI stock, way overvalued right now. I'm not saying they can't have some projects down the road that will increase that value, but right now, yeah, no, Nibius and CoreWeave trade in sync with each other. I'm not gonna say perfect harmony, but they definitely have sympathy with each other here. I'd actually like to put them on a performance chart. Actually, let's do that. If you guys didn't know you can do this, you can. It's called a performance chart. NBIS. CoreWeave. They're both moving up a little bit today. They both moved out. But in CoreWeave pulled back quite a bit here. Not perfect sync, but yeah, they're both trending up here. All right. But yeah, Nebius, let's see what Star Search has to say about this one. Yeah, look at that, finding support right on that Bollinger Band here. See how it hugged the upper Bollinger Band? A little overextended, came back. Looks like it's found a nice ground. Might take another run. I like this. That's a good little setup. Here's ISSC. Gap down. Look, it's in the bottom side, so now I would be bearish on it, being on this side of Star Search layout. Let's go back to the simple here. RT below 1. Still got the hold rating, barely though. Aerospace and defense. Was this earnings? Yep, that was earnings. Not good. Not good. Let's see here, earnings. Why has it got two earnings right next to each other? That's weird, but this should be the earnings here. August 14th. RT's negative. What's the value here? Let's go to simple. Actually, let's go to this one here. Undervalued. This is my level support here. You know, I don't know where your cutoff is. The stock's down quite a bit from 20 bucks down to 13 now. Obviously, stay disciplined here, but this would definitely be my cutoff level if it broke this level support here. Here's IONQ, just channeling to the side, not doing a whole lot. Qubit had earnings yesterday because the stock down a little bit here. I like IONQ. They've got a huge presence in Maryland, so they've got a lot of government contracts there. Growth rate's negative, but sales growth rate sits at 82%. But look, falling earnings here. So again, I'd stick to the technical. I'm not going to be too bullish on IONQ right now. Here's Reddit, broke out, hitting another high today, 246. Again, this has got the highest earnings growth rate in the database. You can see the stock just roaring right now. Look at that. Hit a new high. Looks like we got a cup. Could be a handle, but overvalued for sure. 53% earnings growth rate. Sales growth rate, 78%. Rising earnings. Hey, I like the stock. Let's see here. Next one. Look at that nice pivot on the 20-day EMA. So I was talking about this retest on this level here, but I like the pivot. I still like Hood. Look at that. Growth rate earnings coming at 48%. Sales growth rate 45%. Nice. Very nice. I like Hood. Momentum still there. I'm in it for the Bulls. TSM, ever since it broke out of this ascending channel, looks like it's really just trying to channel to the side now. So I don't want to get too crazy on making moves either way. It looks like it's just channeling to the side, taking a breather, which definitely needed here. I mean, look at the run it's had. So even if you see a pullback, I'm not going to be too concerned. Probably could even see a pivot here around 225. If I see price action go down to 225, or if you do and you've been thinking about getting TSM but didn't want to buy at the high, maybe look for a pivot there. But unless the market just really craps out, I see it staying above 225. Growth rate earnings 26, sales growth rate 40. I mean, it's TSM, right? I mean, they're the reason Nvidia is so powerful. They're not going anywhere. I like them. We got Micron here. Looks like we got rejection right at that high. So my bull case, we retest this support. We got the 20-day EMA. Break above this and then go off to the races. Otherwise, if we keep going down and break this, could go even lower. But it's going to probably make a decision rather quickly. I like Micron. I like the valuation here. I mean, we buy the stock over $206. Growth rate 38%, sales growth rate 37%, rising earnings. Great stock candidate, in my opinion. And you're not necessarily buying it at a high. And look at the consolidation. Pretty range bound now for about a year. So if this thing breaks out of this high, I mean, this really could pick up some momentum, right? That's just my 2 cents, but I still like Micron. Here's a net. Net's just, taking a breather since that gap up. Pretty exhausted, you can see here. So I'm not going to make too many decisions here. Earnings per share, it's rocking, coming in at 286 here. Growth rate and earnings 22%, sales 30%. Not a bad stock at all. I like it. A little overextended. I'm not going to say jump in right now. And if you're in it, protect some profits, because if we fill this gap, I'll be honest, it might be tempted to close that gap and find support there, because look at the 20-day EMA sitting right there. So if we came down to it, we'd get a perfect support level. So this is around 126. So if this scenario happens, or if you want to put an alert for a net for 126, see what happens there. You might get a good pivot, nice bounce for the next run. We'll see what happens. Here's Frequency Electronics. Woo! You know what I'm going to say. And I know y'all probably tired of hearing about it, but that's my favorite chart pattern. Value on the rise, price action on the rise, undervalued. It's this most simple chart pattern, but I like it. It just makes sense in my mind. I should call that the Buffett pattern, because he's a value guy, right? Undervalued, both on the rise. Call it the Buffett. All right. Let's see here. He hit a high a few days ago, pulling back a little bit. I see a doji candlestick there showing indecision, but look at that value still ticking up. You can see here, retest from the bottom. We're getting supports at these 20 days, so I would rather be a buyer closer to that 20-day EMA. than right now. And on top of that, yeah, we're sitting right at this trend line here, right? So if we get a little bit more of a body or take out this high, might go ahead and, enter the trade, right? Keep this trend line intact. Otherwise, if we break it, might retest this 20-day EMA and then do a quick pull back up. But we'll see what happens, right? Here's TPC. This is Tudor Panini. Look at the value. Even though the stock's rocking, look at the value rocking as well. It's rolling over right now. Even the gap up, gave a lot of that back here. Look at the open, close all the way down here. We've been in the body of this candlestick, more importantly, the lower body. So we'll see. I'm not going to make too many decisions on this stock. A, unless I break below this body here. Or B, I break above this swing high. That's when I'm going to make decisions. You can see it's trying to stay above it. We got a bottom wick there right now. What was the 20-day EMA? On which position? The blue is the 20-day EMA. This blue one here. Here is Viva Systems. This is a healthcare stock, a software company. Price action on the rise, value on the rise. It's not undervalued, but I do like it. Growth rate, sales growth rate, double digits, rising earnings. Stock just kind of consolidating here. Support, broke through it. Now we're about to see if we can break through it again. Let's get price action above that 20-day EMA before I get too excited about it. But the stock really just channeling to the side here. Not a lot of action going on right now. One thing I will say, RT relative timing is getting closer and closer in favor of the bears. So while it's channeling, the RT is losing that ground. So if RT goes below 1, I'd be getting a little bit more concerned on this. Here is Banco Latino Americano de Com. It's a very fancy bank name. But as far as, the stock looks fancy itself. Look, lower left, upper right, smooth, little volatility. Obviously, March, April, tariff situation. But the value, smooth uptrend as well. Growth rate, sales growth rate, not getting me excited. 14, 15%. But just the patterns of those charts, not too excited. The earnings per share, I can get more excited about. Went from $5, nice steady rise up around $6 right now. This is a nice steady Eddie stock, right? And if I'm looking for a pullback, I'm looking for support right here. $42, and you see the 20-day EMA sitting right at that line. I wouldn't be surprised if it dropped a little bit more and hit it. That's the pivot I would look for going forward. Here's bullish. Bullish doesn't look very bullish today. I know that probably wasn't that funny, was it? I'm not really digging it. The value is $7.49. We're not seeing any kind of confirmed momentum like we are or we did with Circle. Circle USDC, that's very important to the crypto community here. Bullish, I couldn't really find much on them. I know they're the exchange, but no, it's way overvalued in my opinion. $70 here. We definitely did not get that momentum. I clearly had 2 lines here. I think that was from that first day intraday chart. Let's see here, 3 days. Yeah, there it is right there, that resistance. All right, here's Ethereum. Ethereum's taking a breather right now. Not too surprised by that. Look at the run that Ethereum has had, right? Not surprised by that at all. Wait for it to get closer to that 20-day EMA. But overall, it's still in an uptrend, right? It's just taking a breather. Uber is doing a consolidationosity and a basiosity. We'll take a look at Uber after these. I'm curious what Uber's doing. But Ethereum, I still like it. If you're trading it, if you're not really just holding Ethereum or investing in Ethereum, I like, let's see here. Oh, no, wrong one. Momentum's still there. I want to see it catch this. You know, if we can get support here and pivot, otherwise, keep it in the fast lane, right? Keep it in the fast lane. Does your mom still have her Amazon stock? Yes, John. My mom still has Amazon stock. I was actually talking to her about, what was it? It was a Dow Jones Tech ETF. She asked me about, which looked like a pretty good ETF. Had a nice chart to it. So she'll probably add some of that to her. But yeah, she still holds Amazon. No reason to get rid of Amazon. She doesn't necessarily need the money right now. Any Mag 7 stock, really. You know, maybe, except maybe Tesla. I want to be in a real rush to sell. Here we've got Van Eck Gold Miners, GDX. I mean, look at that lower left, upper right. Let's take a look. Well, this is going to be ETF. Catching right on that Bollinger Band. The momentum is in play here. We're still keeping that momentum as of today. Nice bottom wick there with a body on the candlestick. I can get behind that stock. Here's Integra Resources. Just entering the fast lane. We can see the momentum picking up here. Let's go back to the other layout. Look at value. Keeps rising. I like this. And it's a cheap gold play, too. You can see, like, just $1.81. I mean, the stock was $1.50 not long ago, so the momentum is there with this position. Rising earnings per share, rising growth rate in earnings, coming at 29%. The only thing lackluster here is sales. It's just zeroed out. So, look at the RT becoming favorable. See, the stock was in an uptrend, lost the uptrend. That momentum is coming back now for the bulls. We do got an upper wick there, so be careful of that. Now, here's Mo. This is the tobacco. You talk about a base. Look at this base. Breaking out of that base. Taking a little bit of a breather. Might be picking up steam for some more. Stock was undervalued, but now overvalued. But look at the valuation dropping along with growth rate earnings, along with sales growth rate, along with the earnings per share. Growth rate's at 2, sales growth rate's at 0. It's a tobacco company. Let's look at a year here. I mean, it's a nice steady Eddie stock. Went from $50. Well, I don't know, a year to go from $50 to $65. Not bad. But I just don't like the value declining like that. It looks like value and price action have met somewhere in the middle. But yeah. Oh, they're also involved in cannabis. Okay, so that's why we're seeing this momentum to the upside. Gotcha. All right, so yeah, I do like it. It looks a lot less speculative than some of the, the other cannabis stocks out there. That's for sure. So if you're gonna play this space, might not be a bad way to do it. I do like the candlestick today. We're breaking out of that pullback over the last 3 trading sessions. Here's USAR, and look, here's the channel I've been talking about. Look at it. Went right above that channel, broke it, went right back below. We're right at the top of this channel here, right? So if you're holding it, again, I don't know the future, and I don't know your goals, but the top of the channel is usually the best place to take profits, right? The bottom of the channel is usually the best place to get in the position. But right now I see a bottom wick. So I might give a little bit of room, because if this jumps right back above this channel, this little line here, this thing could go parabolic and hit $20 again pretty easily, right? We've seen this happen quite a bit on these ascending channel breakouts to the upside. Palantir after earnings broke out to the upside. It just as one example. I think, was Spotify one? There was another one. I don't know if it was Spotify. But yeah. So if it pulls back a little bit more, I'd get a little defensive. But, with that bottom wick, especially if we can get a little body to the upside here, hey, this thing might break out to the upside. And there's a lot of news. I wonder what UAMY is doing today. I think it's still over $4. There's Tilray pulling back. Again, because look at these little pops. Pops, done. Pops, done. Pop, done. Right? So it's going to be short-lived. Yeah, can't get too excited about that. Let's see here. Let's do UAMY real quick. 408 UAMY. I really wish I would have got my mom into this one. That would have been a good one. HITI is a solid Canadian cannabis company. Let's see here. HITI. Oh, yeah. There's the momentum going up. You can see. A lot of these stocks are overvalued, though, in the healthcare spot. So value on returns on sales is crucial. GTBIF is a great American cannabis company. All right, we've got HITT overvalued, 37% sales growth rate, 6%. 37% earnings growth rate, 6% sales. Let's see here. GTBIF. John, my Amazon driver is talking about mining stocks and antimony and MP materials. I told him to buy Yahoo. Yahoo? What do you mean by Yahoo? What are you talking about? And did your Amazon driver really? Ain't no way your Amazon driver is talking about antimony. Ain't no way. And you know it's probably time to sell it because too many people know about it, right? I'm buying AOL. Oh, you're buying some AIM? Oh, God, those were the days, right? All right, so here's Green Thumb. Overvalued, like I said, a lot of these are. The earnings and the sales were better on the Canadian cannabis company, and this earnings is falling. So I'm going to pick the other one. I'm going to have to go with the other one here. There's another one. Let's take a look at it here. What's old Maps doing? It broke out. It's going back up. This is an interesting play here. This is a software cannabis company. You can see it also popped out. So we want to play the software side of cannabis, undervalued. This is what I've been waiting for, is a breakout above this trend line here. But obviously this breakout on the news with the gap up, you know, a little too late, a little too much excitement for me. So I'm waiting for a pullback here. I'm thinking maybe a retest, probably somewhere in here. Hopefully this will hold. So we'll see. Should be coming soon though. But that's one that I'm looking at right now. Let's take a look at Cron. We'll finish with this one here. And then what time is it? Yeah, we got a few minutes. We'll head out after this stock. Because then we got Power Hour in an hour. So we're you better bring your stocks. So here's Kronos Group here. Again, the momentum was there. Let's see Star Search here. See what Star Search is telling us. Star Search keeping us in the trade a little bit here before we break that yellow. Definitely take some profits. But we're seeing support. We're seeing some buying pressure right on that Bollinger Band there. Again, that's the standard deviation of 1. Look back period 20. Wow, Roku's looking good. You know they are in every TV. Yeah. You know, I'm team Amazon when it comes. I'm team Prime. I'm on Amazon Prime. Well, Fire Stick, I should say. I'm a Fire Stick person, not a Roku person. I know. I'm definitely on the dark side. I'm Android and Fire Stick. I'm not a Roku and Apple kind of person. All right, but yes, so I do like that pivot there. Was it 12:55? Let's do one more, and then we'll head out. So we're gonna pick this up in just a few. All right, here's Grab Holdings. We broke above it. Okay. I could see the momentum coming back here. This would be my cutoff. I'd put a trend line here. That'd be my absolute cutoff. But I do like the buy rating. I like to see price action showing a little bit of momentum there. And look at the forecasted data. I mean, 34% on the earnings. Sales side, 23%. And a little bit of a turnaround story when it comes to earnings per share. Was negative, now positive and climbing. RT faltered a little bit, but right back in positive territory. I like it. Yeah, this one looks nice. Just overvalued, but hey, I like this trend line here. As long as price action stays above this trend line, I'd be optimistic on this position. All right, everybody. It's been a good mobile live analysis. Sorry, it wasn't very mobile. Just like I said, had the Wi-Fi issue, but it's all good. We went over a lot of stocks today, looked at a lot of different industries. Got some fish, looking at the channel breakouts and Unisearch. It's always a great tool to have. Again, if you don't have access to the VectorVest software, just go to vectorvest.com/YT. Get yourself a trial. In addition to that, the only other big news to really end this live stream on, next month, we've got Las Vegas 2-day investment seminar. If you want to check it out, if you want to have some fun in Vegas with us, just go to vectorvest.com/Vegas. Got all the details that you're going to need. Everyone, enjoy your afternoon and come check us out. We'll be back in about an hour. Do some power hour. Take care. Bye.